Okay, recording.
Okay, who wants to start first?
Thank you. Okay, start first.
No, all at the same time. Wait, I doing? It's okay.
It's here because it's here. Wait.
I'm gonna start first.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So on my side, wait, I created like the first milestone and also the plan for the second milestone. That's just because the second milestone needs the result from the first milestone first, so that the second milestone can be determined. So this is the timeline. The blue one is the first milestone, and also yeah, 1 second. So the blue one is the first milestone, and the apa namanya, gray one is the second one. So basically, I'm doing like a few parallel things at the same time, like hiring for sure, like to fulfill like the people from this one, right? Like this, finding like the successors. So that's going on like always ongoing. And then at the same time, also this month's fulfilling the OPM for Sharpen the Saw, I'm actually planning to meet, not really like meet, but like have a talk with like other HR practitioner from other company. Um, regarding actually the main purpose was like regarding recruitment, like how can recruit faster, like about what they do in hiring process. But then I can also attach this one, meaning that while I'm defining the pathway or like the qualification, I will ask this HR practitioner as well on what they're doing. What are the definition for, let's say, like the accounting officer or community manager, something like that. So I'm going to have like the one-on-one with like each of the people of the year until starting from tomorrow until next Tuesday. That's defining the pathway by meaning that this was like as I said what I proposed, right? And then by defining the pathway here means like are these actually what they want? Like for example, like Rizky, I plot out Rizky was as a finance senior finance analyst before, but he is actually planning as a accounting officer. So this during this one-on-one is actually like to see where do they actually plan out your own how do you say like plan in the future,
Okay.
whether or not this is what they plan or not, and if not, is like what do they plan, and then afterwards, I already get the data. Um, after I get the data, it's going to be proposal to the company. By proposal to the company, meaning that I'm going to discuss with to propose to Jim, like these are like the plan for the people in squad one. Like, can we actually have this in the company? Things like that. So afterwards, after it's been done, then I'm going to, or if they're like precision, I'm going to work back to the people directly in certain position, like what are the solutions from the company. So if the plan is being rejected on the first hand, and then afterwards creating the pathway definition. Pathway definition is like so for example, like account officer, like what are the benchmark for you to be an account officer, like what do you need to become an account officer, or like what is actually like accounting officer for
That's the job description.
yeah, like job description and like the qualification. And then like parallel to this, like for example, on Tuesday on the 20th of February, for example, I'm creating one definition for one job, and then the next day while creating another job description, I will also have a pairing with Alvin regarding the job description that I have already created the previous day. If like to see like a second perspective basically. So that's going on until the 26th, and then also like the pathway the pairing with Alvin. Sorry, this is actually supposed to be pairing with Alvin regarding this. And then while the same time having this the second opinion from Alfie, I will also like do the revision, and the revision will start until the end of February. So basically, that's the first milestone for this.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so by the end of February, if I can summarize, is that you will get a very good understanding of what each individual member wants to achieve by whatever timeline they're given
Yeah.
themselves, and you have also gotten the company's approval on this progression.
Mm.
Question:
Yeah.
When we talk about the company's approval on the progression, are we talking about, like, let's just say, for example, Yuki just joined us, right?
Yeah.
In 6 months' time, or maybe in 6 months' time, she wants to be a senior host. Okay, let's just say that lah. And so, are we talking about when you are having that session with Yuki, right? Are y'all going to discuss about what the progress is going to be and what it takes for you to get there in detail?
That's on the second milestone.
So, what are we agreeing on with the company then?
This one, like the progression itself. Like for
Just
example, the idea.
This is one.
Like for example, for Dominic, right? Like I brought out like Dominic to become like host manager, for
Correct.
example. So do we actually need like a host manager? Like does the company think like host manager is necessary, or it's kind of like a waste of human capital, for example?
I see. How many of those there are new roles? Accounting
Actually,
officer is there, community manager is there, talent growth specialist.
yeah, this one as well. So because the thing is like right now HR is doing everything at the same time, like hiring the same person is doing hiring, doing the talent growth as well. So I think after we were actually like discussing this on HR discussion as well, like for example when we're talking about employee experience, sometimes employee experience is kind of being put at the back because not there is not any single person that is being put intentionally for taking care of the employee experience, for example. Then it's being put because there are a lot of things, other things that needs to be done rather than employee experience, for example. And it's kind of like James like kind of not agree and agree with that. So
Okay.
that's what I meant by like proposing to the company.
So at the end of February, basically there must be a JD will be drawn up for all these specific roles, and the individuals must agree to it. Or not must, but you guys are going to come to an agreement to it. Okay. Any question, guys? This is your future in Bukit Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Future.
Your future in Bukit Vista. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, that's like by the end of February, right? The first milestone, and then like coming to the second milestone is that I'm going to have another the second one-on-one. So during the second one-on-one is I'm going to present to them. So these are the job description and what it takes, what it needs to like what it takes for you to be this in the future.
Okay.
And then I present to the person, and also like at the same time also creating the milestone. By creating the milestone is like for example for let's say talking about accounting officer, right? So I created the job description, and these are like the qualifications. So the person who knows um, in as an accounting officer what he or she like let's say risky, right? Whether or not he already knows something or he doesn't know other things is only him who knows. So then there is the milestone creation with the respective person itself, because like I don't have like a visibility on what you know now and what you don't know yet regarding this job description and qualification. So it's like
If you will present the company's expectation towards that requested roles.
So can say you are the mediator lah, in between the company and the individual, yeah? Okay. So if you guys have any, so I just want to highlight, if you guys have any requests at this point in time or you expect something from the company, please make Vita your best friend here, because she will be your mediator, okay? She will champion for you guys. HR is supposed to be a champion for employees.
Use Vita.
Hello, Joel.
Use Vita.
Hi, Joel. Joel is
Okay.
here. Anyway, so yeah, then by motion creation is also like, for example, Alvin yesterday telling me as well, for example, if like Risky, if he needs to take a certification or maybe he needs to take courses, things like that is being included in the milestone creation. So after talking about after having all this one on one, then I will create like the milestone update. Like I mean, like compiling all the milestones from each person, and then creating the timeline for that. Like I mean, that's why like I didn't have the timeline for the rest because that's based on the milestone that is achieved.
Okay, and when will this be done by?
Supposedly, if we are taking a look at the career matrix, it's actually by since let's say it's starting like from the second quarter in March, right? Like by the end, sorry, like the last month of the first quarter. So basically, like in 6 months.
Sorry, I mean, okay. So what I
Oh,
mean
this
is,
one, the update. So I think it's just take so since so basically by doing while doing one on one and also creating the milestone is already
started already, yeah.
started
Okay,
already. So then it's just like compiling.
okay. Okay, so once again, right, the idea is this. Mita is the TC, correct? But individually, all of you still need to do your own jobs, correct? My question is, have you gotten everybody buy in on the roles already or not?
Not yet, but I'm going to learn the one on one, the first one on one.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think the action plan is quite well thought out of for every individual. Anybody else have any other questions? No, understand? Mm. Okay. So maybe by the end of February, everybody should have a good idea of what they are to do in 1 year, to what is necessary from them.
Or I would say like the output for February is actually um, the agreement from the company and
Okay.
also the job description. But
Mm.
um, I haven't present the job description and qualification in February yet. So the people will know by the beginning of March.
Qualifications. Okay, so this is the part I don't quite understand. When we talk about qualifications, what exactly are we referring to? Like courses? Are we talking about certifications? Like,
Mm. No, it's more into like, for example, like the right, like let's say she agrees for digital marketing specialist. Then, for example, as the digital marketing specialist, she should know like SEO, for example, and then she should know about content. Let's say the
skills
AdWords, yeah, the
qualification.
skills
So, what are the
qualification.
necessary skills in order for you to then reach to the new role that you are moving towards? Okay, I like that idea.
But the qualification is from other HR qualification.
No, I'm going to collect like this is like one of the sources that I can get from, but I'm going also to collect from others, like I mean like other sources like the internet as well. So
Okay.
not just from this other education. So as per now, I have actually sourced from a friend working as a talent management in Linz, the hiring company, and then also I know a person who is actually working as a HR recruiter in Copernic, so in Ubud. So basically, this person was applying for Bukit Vista, but then I was like, I think it's a good like for this company, and also like company pays you way more. So think like I don't think like actually we will be able to afford to hire you, but then we're interested to connect with you, so now like we will a connection.
Okay.
So and then the other one is also another applicant. He's actually like an HR. She actually she's like doing HR consultant. Startup. So
Okay. Okay. Plan. So that's your full plan, right? I mean, your
yeah.
full action plan for now. All right. So the idea for today's session is to get buy-in from the PCs, from the individual squad members on your plan. Any other questions? Anybody? Kavin?
No, I already talked with her basically for this one.
Yes. Okay. You want to get a buy-in and you want to motion this? One question, yeah? Go ahead.
So there's the step that you are after the presentation with the company side, right? And then you come back to the each individual to deliver this is what actually the company expected. And there's two possibilities in the future for that action. The individual say, "Oh yeah, I agree, I can do that." And what if they say no? Are you creating another position for them, or like, or do they submit the?
So basically, it's more into like this, right? Here, after the proposal, meaning that what I propose to the company is what you want to be in the future, right? Like already like the position that you have in mind. Like during the one-on-one, you should tell me as well what do you expect. So then I propose to the company. The company already agrees with like, okay, so this is what we are gonna be in the next quarter or the next semester, for example. So in the pathway definition creation, it's just about like the qualification. So for example, if you agree on the first hand that you will be like a digital marketing specialist, but like you don't agree with the skill set, then you can
There's two what if cases here. What if the individual doesn't agree, or what if the company doesn't agree with the? We don't need that role right now.
So then, well, like after going like to the company after like proposing, then I'm going to also like get back to the respective person
To come up with
who's
another
to come with like what is like also going back like so I mean like the company cannot just say no, right? But the company should also like suggest and then we can the respective person.
No other questions? No other questions? Okay, then let's put this to a vote. Will we done with the motion or just ask for a vote?
Okay, I can put this to the motion. So I motion to have this timeline that I proposed to be implemented for um, our planning program. So, yeah. So, okay, anyone in favor for this motion, can raise your hand.
Yes. Sorry.
Alvin? Okay, then motion passed. Thanks. Alvin, kamu tahu ini nggak? But moving on, so that's all from my side. From any other person. So this is the last.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, probably because I think it's going to be a long discussion since so can I share mine? Ada di sini nggak? Nggak ada. Ya, pakai apa nih? Alvin. Ya. Di paper ini nggak ada. Oh, belum. Belum, ini belum sendiri.
Yes.
So yeah, this is going to be my community management 2024 work. As I already discussed with Joel as well. Like I think there's like a let's say rebranding on because there's a lot of misconception.
Wait. Sorry, I have a quick question. But so what we're presenting today is a combination of community management between the two of you, and it's a community management framework for both squads.
Oh, just for one spot because we need to agree on like so we start from this one first, right? So from the chairman host the manager and everything, and so apart from that discussion,
So maybe let me give everybody a quick background first. Why Joel is here today, right? So basically, I had a quick chat with Joel, and we were talking about community management, and I feel that since Bayu also nominated him to run community management for Sport 2, I figured the two of them has some synergy together, so they can work together and pair off. and come up and build CM together. Okay, so the two of you, background, the two of you were working together on this last night, right? From what I understood. Okay, but this is a framework that is implemented for Squad 1 first.
Yeah, it's already, we already understand about that. But yeah, because we need to know about the community manager in company what like should JM and host manager. The answer is no, of course, because like as we already agreed that host and both host and JM has a different client, a different client scope of as well. So that's why we divide host job description and CM job description. I think host job description. With the help of what's his name again, Luki, we already know the whole job description from the contract that he got. But then I would like to underline this because I think it's more like company management here. So yeah, I think it's going to be something like that. So that's fine. Because from that one, here's the plan that I'm going to do. It's like I also attached the paper from Joel here, so also attach the paper later on the part 1 2020 FI plan. So it's a build gainer branding Bukit Vista community management level of trust to all partner by doing shadowing on Rafik. It's already there, like because I already have a conversation with Rafik as well last night. Like yeah, and then partner visit. It's like I'm doing a Trojan horse.
Okay.
And then partner visit or training plan for 3 months to get to know about the partner and everything. And it's and yeah, that's the main I think that's the main challenge that you guys give to get like not only on traffic but also gain trust from owner. You know, like try to gain trust from owner and then like acquisition, like the acquisition from because most of the owner already have like a relationship with Jinx and finance sometimes. So we need to have that misconception before, and then we need to branding the community management and level of trust to all partner by and then partner visit and training plan for like 3 months. That's going to be the yeah.
First question. From your first action plan shadowing on Rafik, what is the fruit that you are hoping to harvest from that activity?
To get to know the partners, like because I
Squad
haven't
1 partners?
Squad One partners, not all the partners are. I haven't know all the partners from Squad One, like Bahies, Alchemies. I never really know. I never. It's not
And the
shadowing.
best person to share that experience is
Rafi, because he said that he already know about every single partner that, including Nanette as well and LCPP. That's what he said. So I think the best way to do that is by pairing with Rafi. It's not pairing. It's more like ask him to introduce me to the partner, bring me to the partner, and then introduce me to the partner. Like it's a Trojan horse. So that's why right after we introduce me to the partner, it's going to be like a training plan, like a revisiting partner visit training plan for 3 months.
and what are the activities during your visit? What are the activities that you were doing with partners?
So actually, it's more like yeah, about that. Like I think it's more like introduce yourself as a community manager, and then what's the name again? Like introduce them what the community manager is and how who to address if you have like any professional issue and every single issue that you had. Like because we agree with Joel as well that community manager is actually it's like a brand of the face of the yeah for the company itself. Like means that actually community manager should know about every single thing, even if even they still need to delegate sometimes to the finance if there's like a finance issue and everything. So um, on during my partner visit, it's going to be that introduce myself and then like do this owner property journal and then like break owner journal like uncovers brings operational issue put professional in business.
Oh, the one that we discussed in class.
Like the one that we have here there. So it's on the third action plan. It's not the third. It's on the third plan actually.
And it's different agenda with the first activity. So the first is only
It's
the introduction.
Yeah, introduction, but then it's connected. it's like if we saw the so yeah, if we saw the timeline here, it's probably for the training plan. There will be wait. Oh yeah, order journal is going to be on the same timeline with property visit and training plan, like a wedding journal and then the order journal as uh, a device to record the every single issues that the partner has. Like
That is a question.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, like your first milestone is actually first to get acquainted with the partners.
get acquainted.
Get informed.
Get acquainted with the partner first. That's still going to be the first milestone. Get acquainted with the partner and then gaining like it's not trust, but gaining their it's gaining trust from them that now that you have every single issue you can just you know who to address like something like that. So like it's clearly like it's like a propaganda or something like that. Like you talk to them.
Like creating a life. So then that's like the first milestone, right? After you get. So my question is like after you get acquainted, like how do you um, differ your scope of work and host scope of work?
So that's going to be
HAR.
that's going to be the big question because we need still to have the one that we want to do is I didn't write that as well. Like we want to have like a remote to have the possibility of remote check-in service, like so that there's a possibility we can have like enough manpower if I don't go hosting. Like just go to the partner visit, probably just go to one partner and then just do the talk.
No. I mean, like, so for example, so like last week we discussed that for HIR is serving guests, right, as the client, and then like CM is serving the partners. So then my question is like, so I think this was also like a concern from Dom that like why should we have another person that like a community manager while host is the one who's like frequently going to the field like to the properties, right? So then like what if then partners like rather than contacting you as the community manager, for example, property owners will just like contact hosts while they're actually also on the field. So my question is like, what is the the difference between host HAR and also CM?
Actually, that's the gap that we're trying to fill because everyone from different chapter, not only HAR, they have like different agenda with the owners. So, for example, finance will go with their own agenda. About finance, HR will go with their own agenda. But what if we only have like one of like all of these chapters will go to community management first, and then we're the one who will like get in touch with the owners instead of like going directly. In
So
that
that's
way,
like the future vision, right?
yeah, in that way, the owner's not gonna be confused about like, oh, about this, who am I gonna talk to? About this, who am I gonna talk to? But if there's this one person who could answer all the questions, at least, then that one person is going to be like the only one that they can trust. Unless, for example, about finance, if they ask for like raw data about like all the data, then we have to delegate finance for that.
So basically like the umbrella for this. Actually, so I was also like working with Mas Bayu about like community management, right? So before Mas Bayu now like opening up the bounty for community management, they have actually created like some papers actually like the workflow for community management, like the difference they already like created like difference between HAR and community manager. Like so for example like in HAR, if guests face issue during stay, HAR will help to fix the guest issue and make sure all resolved. That's definitely like the scope of work for HAR. Then what community manager can do is if the things has resolved or not about the guest issue, and then you escalate that to like the partners, like tell them like what to do and things and like what needs to be done from the partner side, things like that. So I mean my main point is like before like all going from the scratch by yourself, maybe you can also discuss this with Ms. Bayu for the second milestone after you get acquainted with the partners.
Well, the funny thing here is actually is that you're working with Masbai, right? I'm working with them, and then everyone else like having their own group for community management. We don't really have like this whole thing that we all can talk together and then solve it out. And for the learning that I try to prepare right now, it's actually I would love like everyone to get involved, everyone who has concern about community management that they can involve in there because it's not gonna be just learning, but we can take actions like right away after we have the same perception of what community management is.
Yeah, but I think it's already a long discussion about how communication is going to work. Because like probably like Dominic already addressed before, like it's going to be what's the different, or and you already addressed before, what's going to be different because somewhere I get from my play, it's like more like who's like a firefighter, so it's going to be there and then solve the issues right away. While while the community is more like people that is going to be it's going to prevent that going to happen again in the future. So
I keep
yeah,
hearing this
firefighter.
fake idea of like posting post to this, yeah, to this, but did you actually already build the action plan? Okay, because I want to partners to believe in me that they can trust everything to me. Here are my action plan. Plan one, I work with finance group. I will provide all the finance data for the community. Plan two, I will work with content to screen the inquiries and the reviews and to give it back to them. Plan three, I will work with market builders to let know what the growth of the area. Do you already have those action plans lined up?
That's the thing. We couldn't. That's the thing. We couldn't. You couldn't do it on ourselves. We need your like agreement because you all are involved in this like community management. I mean, if you can just make it like this is our plan, but we don't get your permission, then what's the point, right?
I think we discussed this on the previous income, right? And we are mostly agree on that we cannot work alone. That's for sure. That's why we are already even discussing these things. The thing that we will offer to the partners of operation sides and business sides. So do this plan is already
Yeah.
broken down to like the partners
Mm.
generals or
No, so it's not yet because I just paid too much attention to just the people that will support me back there. So I didn't have like action plans that involve finance and even content to do that. So
I mean that's the one thing that I said right now is just like the example of it. What are okay? So we need the help from another person in another role. What are you? What kind of help that you are suggesting for us to give you extra help?
Uh, Depends. The action is gonna be different on the spot level. Let's say like the clients that we have in spot one, it's more of like villa owners, and which is very different with like spot two, like guest house and everything. Then it depends on the action on the spot level.
Depends on action on spot level, such as
I mean, for spot one, I couldn't really tell because I don't know your market. I don't know like how is it going with spot one. But for spot two, yeah, that is actually it's something that we're trying to figure out after the learning part, which is this month, at the end of this month. Yeah, we're gonna have like Rafik and Wayana involved in the learning, and then we're gonna deal with it.
so yeah, if you ask about if there's an action plan that involving because you say that yeah, it can work alone. So if you guys have an example, have you put like an action plan that involve all of the what's the name again other chapters to work with you to work with you then oh,
Okay, so let's cut this short, yeah? So, key is you did not prepare an action plan, yeah, Rian, today?
it's more the action plan that we did for with just pretty much mentioned with the HER side from HER
Okay,
side.
so your action plan is not done,
That's not
okay?
done yet.
So, we can give you an extra another one more week, okay? Is that now, my question is to you is that, is one more week enough for you? For you and Joel to come up with an action plan for the team? Everybody has an action plan ready already, so I think to be fair, you need to come up with something as well. So my question is, I don't want to force you guys and say like, okay, you have to come up with in 7 days, you have to come up with an action plan, and then you say yes, but then in 7 days it's not delivered, right? So question is, how much time do you need? Is 7 days enough for the two of you? Not enough? Okay. How much time do you all require? 2 weeks?
For squad level,
To come up with an action plan. I need to know, basically you guys need to sit down and figure out, okay, what exactly is it that you all want to do for community management, right? Whether it is squad level, chapter level, I don't know. It is all in your brains. But you need to put all those thoughts down on paper and you need to prioritize and put them on a timeline. If I don't give you guys a timeline, it is very likely this thing will stretch until 2021. Okay? So, question is, how much time do you all need to get an action plan done? Action plan you can see, right? You can see Vita's action plan. If you need reference, go to Diva's action plan as well. And then you can get some sort of idea on how to do an action plan. But action plan, I believe if Vita and Diva can get it up in 7 days, I don't see why you guys need 21 days to get it up. 14 days to get it up.
Look, I'm just gonna brainstorm here a little bit.
Mm.
The community management that we have so far in the company, it's if you see on the workflow that everyone has, like Wayana's have, Jean have, it's more of like coordination between like community management and the HR, which is not that simple. You can get everyone involved, DM involved, MD involved, content involved.
Mm.
Yeah. In that case, we need to understand your problem. It's not
Mm.
going to be that easy to get in 1 week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
So maybe that's what you need to write down.
Right.
Like for example,
Right.
sitting on with this chapter to extract what we need to extract. That's what we need. Like the timeline. I mean, like same for me, right? I don't know like what the other people
Right.
want to do,
Right.
but like let's say your plan to get to know what
Yes.
that's like what we are trying to ask for.
Okay. And one more thing I just want to highlight. Rian, who is your client in CM?
What?
Who is the client in CM? In community management, who is your client?
Trying to be partner.
Partners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you spoke to any partners about this?
No, not yet. Because like the timeline is at the start. Yeah, I already have planned
Okay.
to have the story on.
Who are you building this product for?
What is building this product for?
Yeah, when you're building community management, you're building it for the clients, right? You're building it for partners, correct? So you're building a product for partners that you have not spoken to. So my first suggestion to the two of you, right, is go and speak with partners first. What do they expect out of community management, right? The company, you don't, I'm not saying that you don't need to care about the rest of us, okay? But I'm saying that your first point of contact must be the people that you serve, which is your client. Go and figure out what the client wants first, okay? And then your role in this company is to then come back and tell the team, look, everybody else here is looking to the two of you to lead CM, not the other way around. Okay? So you guys go figure out what clients want, alright, come back and then you tell the rest of the team what actually clients are supposed to be looking at, what we are supposed to build in order to serve our actual clients.
Then I don't see the point why you are talking about this action plan because that's what is doing.
That this should be part of the action plan.
Yeah, right.
So, okay, so I think you guys are all like, there's a lot of things happening, okay, a lot of moving pieces. But you guys need to go and figure this out, and then whatever you need, go to the individual person and speak to them. But my suggestion for now is go and speak to a few clients first. Understand what do they, when they say, let's just say for example, today I go and meet, say Rhonda, right, from Myanmar. I say, Rhonda, today we're going to start building a community management new chapter. As a client of ours, what do you expect? And our client is you, right? So if say for example we're building a new department just to service you, what are you expecting out? So there's alignment between expectations and delivery as well. Okay? So then also when internally, when you guys come back, you also have data. When somebody challenges you, whether say Diva challenges you, like, I don't think that's a good idea. Then this is where you have data. But the client says that this is a good idea, right? So, and of course you must be convicted as well. So can I suggest that would be your first launch pad? Go and speak to as many clients as you can. Get an understanding of what the client wants when you say you're going to build community management. Yeah. And then from there, I think you guys will have more ideas.
Okay. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, it's working out for me. It's not gonna be that easy for him. That's it.
Okay, I don't understand the disconnect here. So are you guys working on this together or not?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
it just depends on like the clients, right? My clients is like staying at the property like all the time. It's easy for him now.
Eventually you will have this problem too.
Yeah.
As I unlock more villas
I
in
got it.
Canggu.
I got it.
Okay, so I'm making it your problem now. Okay, your future problem. So
I don't want this.
yeah. Anyway, it is not just between the two of you.
Right.
Bring in the rest of the hosts. Everybody here can do community management as well.
Right.
Okay, so 7 days, another 7 more days to do this. Can? Okay, you're going to have a little talk first.
Okay.
And then you'll
Okay,
come back
okay.
and tell me the deadline, okay? Elvin, do you have any other things to say? Benna has a question or not? Okay, no. Okay. Elvin? Okay. Alright. Oh!
Okay, continue.
Bikin aturan ke. Bikin yang aturan. Mic-nya yang aturan ya. Oh, bukan.
Lagi ngalir layarnya sini coy.
Tapi bisa dengar cuy. Tolong mic-nya.
Aneh nggak bersih.
Sin, mute.
Nggak bisa sih ini anak.
Sumpah, Cok.
Nggak bisa.
Sudah. Alright. So the small on top properties revenue maximizing plan. I've already spoken to Alvin and Rian the other day. So little refreshing memories. So we agree on four action plan that we are going to execute to this top 10 properties and top 5 high yield properties. So the first one is market assessment, and then second one is aggressive review screening. The third one is the extra bet thing, and then the fourth one is the off Airbnb promotion. So I already created a timeline with the tech. I also tech the PC on that. So there are some action can be overlapped. I mean, like can be done in parallel. Like let's say, so the blue one is the first action, the market assessment. The pink one is the extra bet. So first and foremost, Alvin actually volunteered to do the market assessment because he think that it still correlate with how he will later provide the projection for those extra features that he will find from the competitors. So he will add. So he will also assess the how much the competitor will charge with adding those like let's say Netflix or things that our properties doesn't have in the same neighborhood. And then it will take about based on Alvin, he said that I asked how much time do you need for creating a one property assessment. He said one property needs 1 day assessment. Yeah. So I'll calculate for 14 properties because PSL we own is on both this actually. So it approximately will need 2 weeks here, and at the same time we also will do I'm proposing to that we also do the assessment for the extra beds, especially for this property that we covered, the Kutu, Tortoise, Shanti, Didi room, the bottom room only, and the Yerombak apartment only. So then we can produce one product, which is the suggestion to the owner. And at the same time, also, Rian admitted that he's not pretty close. So yeah, I asked Rian from this 14 properties, which one would you prioritize, right? Then he gave this top 5 priority list, and he also admitted that we're not close with lots owners yet. So in the meantime, while we're crafting this assessment and also the extra bets, this is the time for Rian to actually build the relationship with the lot owners. And then yes.
So like Alvin is doing like 2 weeks for the assessment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you count like 2 weeks like working days or 2 weeks plus the off?
I see. All right. I will plus I will add extra 2 days then to consider the off day. Yeah. Are you planning to take a week off day, Uncle? Huh? I heard that
No
your
problem lah.
brother's getting married.
Oh, it's like
Yeah, definitely.
You're muted. Oh, yeah.
But it's my brother, not me.
Mama tuh.
Sex. Kamu timing na, Uncle.
Alah, mesti cowok. Gimana?
Apa sih?
Hmm?
It's about my day off, right?
Yeah.
No matter lah. I can still manage it.
Oh.
So, everyone who want to say something, just feel free to cut me off and ask things. Yeah. And let's say Alvin doesn't agree with this amount of time that I'm planning to for you to do a certain action, or you or Dominic, I will mention as well. And blah blah blah. Yeah, and then also this time, period of time, we will prepare the pitch deck for targeted owners. So the product will be the list of the improvements and the extra bets, and then also the projection of the revenue that we project will be before and after we add this session.
So do you have the list of the target owners that are going to be prioritized? Yes, sir. It's not going to be the all probability, right? It's going to be
This is what we get from yesterday, right?
okay. So,
So-
that's going to be the That's going
That
to be
first 5
this-
first. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I also put it down here actually.
Okay.
Mm.
So with that.
Okay. Anything else before I move on? Okay. And then we will also. Do you think that you need a full day for one property visit, or because I'm blocking you 14 days as well to present it to the owner.
Oh, the improvement suggestion and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The improvement suggestions.
Their property or multi, they can be you can visit 2 properties or like that.
you can spread it out among
I
the
think-
homes as well.
I think I can do.
That's a good idea.
Again,
actually.
yeah. If it's on because we already have data, so you can show me and then I will show them. So it means that we already have the data. It means that I think I can visit roughly 2 or 3. Start
In a day.
in a day.
Okay.
Start from 9 to 5 because I think it's going to be a good approach as well.
But we need to consider as well the timing for the partners.
Yeah. So that's why roughly 2 or 3 2 or 3.
Okay.
Because most of them is guest house, BSL and everything. So I think the owner will be there at least. So roughly 2 or 3.
Are you planning to do this alone by yourself, or are
No.
you going to have agents of
No, I'm
hosts
going to
that-
delegate. But in terms of bringing community members as well, I think but yeah, there's a possibility that I will delegate.
And you later. Kalau 14 berarti 23 14 bagi orang mau dibagi. Okay, and
Let's see. Roughly it's not good. Not a good thing. So I mean 2.
okay,
Make it 2.
why don't you
Roughly it's something it's not.
Ini nggak pasti.
Ya, roughly nggak hal yang pasti. Can you show me the data before that date? Like roughly one data before that date, right? You'll show me before. Okay. So okay. I think I'm gonna go press on that.
Yeah.
Press on that.
Okay. So yeah, that's why I figured that for to be safe, I plotted for 14 days for you to present the improvement suggestion to each owners. But in the same time, working in parallel, content to create listing improvement based on the changes, because I don't have to wait for you to visit all the 14 owners to finally also improve the listing based on the update that the owner has been agreed on. And then There's also a step here to monitor and report the result to owners. The data will be provided by me, and I need to help from Risky as well because I need the finance report before and after the improvement was made. And this is the milestone at March, so all proposed property already have improvements and extra beds, and listing and rates are already updated. That is the first milestone here in the March.
Does it mean that if it's up on the listing, then the property already have the extra bed?
Oh ya, harus nunggu itu dulu cuy, nggak berani aku naikin kalau belum ada.
But like, oh, this is just screening.
Apa nih? Ini beda actionnya. Ini milestone yang ini. Milestone flat, kita action dulu. Nah, boleh lanjut? Oke. Lanjut ke action berikutnya, kuning itu apa ya? Aggressive review screening. Sebenarnya bisa paralel, cuman aku mau kita tuh karena ini sebenarnya cukup bulky kan actionnya. Ini kita fokus action per action gitu loh, month to month nih. Nah, harusnya yang ini yang action ke aggressive review screening, we've done this before, so it shouldn't be much of a trouble for us. And then, so I will do the sprint top 10 reviews for the top properties and assign the agents of improvements like what we did previously with Shinta, and then who did that? But last time I do it for the worst accuracy, right? This is the top 10 reviews of the top properties. And I will find whether it's a HAR or it's a revenue, most likely revenue. Usually it's HAR and community. But if there's a review that are actually content issues, like there's like an expectation meeting the reality of the listing, I will proceed it myself. And then I also block sometimes that to for the community to communicate to owners whether the like improvement like the bathroom of Shinta or something. And then this is also the working in parallel. The content make improvement to the listing based on the changes and improvements. And then yeah, this is the next milestone. Review improvements are done by April 3rd. Any question? No?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Maybe I missed this out when I walked out to take a phone call. Is there a revenue component involved in this?
No,
No?
don't think so.
Isn't this idea supposed to improve revenue?
This one, right? The action one and action.
No, the whole entire thing,
Oh.
right? The whole idea for this is to.
Oh yes, actually.
Okay, so
Yes.
so has that been done already, or
Apanya?
that's together with Alvin, right?
Apanya?
That's already inside this part here, where Alvin is supposed to do the extra. So like right now, based on the current, yeah.
Okay, so I don't put it here because it's actually almost
Okay.
some things that actually owner is like a business as usual for owners, but we haven't done this practice like constantly. Okay, so we spoke about the review at the community management KPI, right? And we also spoke about how Filashinta needs a lot of improvements, but the owner seems not to listening to the reviews and stuff. So this actually will affect the revenue as well, right? But this is not going to add up revenue.
Okay, so this one is not to fix. We are currently not fixing problematic properties, right? These are your top 10 earning properties, right?
Yeah.
So these properties are good properties or bad properties in your point of view?
Good,
Good
but
properties, right? Okay. So I finish first, Ken?
yeah, bisa.
Okay. Objective is to enhance, right?
Yeah.
Not fix, right? Enhance, right? You're adding on things. Am I right?
Mhm.
Okay. So my question is, you want commitment from the owners to add kayak lah, to add stand-up board lah, to have like 5 aircons in the room lah, whatever, right? So my question is, before the owner commits to this, somebody is supposed to give them the additional projections. Am I not right? Am I not right? Where is it?
Actually, this is actually an action that we are listening to the actual guest living and review, right? Or by your
I leave that up to you how you want to, what exact changes you want to make I leave it up to you guys to assess. But the point of this exercise is to so we know that these are our top 10 properties. We know they are already maximizing revenue. My question is that do we believe that next year they can do 20% more? If they cannot do 20% more with the current product, that means they need to enhance their product, right? So we need their buy-in, correct?
Yeah.
So in order for them to reinvest some more, you ask me to put investment. What's my return on
It's
investment?
here.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So
Ini kan finance report as well kan.
monitor and report the results.
That's why
Okay.
I'm putting risky here as well.
Risky. Okay, so that means when community management goes to the owners, they will also do the extra
Yeah.
project. So that was my question. Then the answer is just yes. Wow. Okay.
But yeah. Lanjut nggak nih aku?
Continue di jalan.
Boleh nggak Alvin?
I already say right. Sorry, just I walked out. I didn't know. I just asked a question. Right. Okay. Continue.
Lanjut ya. Okay. Last action is the off Airbnb promotion. So I discussed this with Alvin, but apparently Alvin already have the full year revenue projection for all of our properties, and he already can provide us with the data that he detected some properties will have the revenue risk properties which is not below our targeted growth, which is 21%. So actually, the first action is actually needed from my side, which is I need to sorry. Alvin requested that he needs data to approximately cost the approximate cost of the promotions. So I need to provide him the list of like packages of like the promotion itself. So yep, the first action is make cost package estimation for of Airbnb promotion, and then come up with suggested property owners to target, because based on Rian, owner that he would prefer owner that is no longer concerned about operational cost, and Alvin would prefer to see which properties most likely have revenue risk, which is like below 21% growth, and will also come up with the best month to promote their properties. So that is the data that Alvin will provide for me, and then this can only be done after I make the cost estimation. So and then we can come up with the purpose to we can propose then to property owners, because with the data that I can provide, it will support our pitch to the owner that hey, we foresee that and we project that you will have a get month in this month, and we suggest you do this off Airbnb promotion to like give more traffic to your listing and blah 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 blah. And then there's the content production for the ad materials. It's just like up to three, but it can be more because we are managing. We don't know yet the number of properties that we want to approach with this. And then yeah, same and action, which is monitor and report the results to owner. To provide the before and after improvement revenue data with risky, attack risky along with this actually.
RV is so risky. No.
Yeah. Questions?
So about the what was the name again? AdSense, right? So it's ad, right? About the so first you're going to calculate the cost. Okay. Then I will come up with the suggested properties that can be approached.
Mm-hmm.
That's roughly say, and then I approach the property with this cost and everything.
Actually, it's just like a three-way competition between you, me, and Alvin as well.
Okay,
Like the best today. So,
That's still right. So
you have-
so we come up with a suggested property that we
Yes.
can approach.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Alvin can.
So Dima basically only give me the approximate cost, and after that I'm gonna make the list basically. And you are actually the one that actually focus to approach the owner itself. They want actually invest on it or not.
Yeah.
By the way, going back to like adding like extra bed, for example, right? Investment. What if like the owners don't agree with our proposal?
Sorry, what?
But if the owner doesn't agree with our proposals,
They disagree with the proposal. I think that's the idea of showing the data itself. Of course, I'm also going to help to provide all the data that actually the few of the months actually pretty much a high revenue risk, and if they actually doesn't do nothing, we try to think about do they want to increase the chance to sell the villa or not. Basically, that's the idea, right? So this is the investment that they can do as soon as possible, so they actually can kind of like insurance, or when actually the high revenue risk months coming, they basically already fill the villa itself just to make sure on it. So of course, it's basically just like a persuasion process. Just matter on for me, for myself, I can also help to provide the data, but as the strategy itself, we try to our best basically if it's possible for them to actually accept and invest more on the off what's called the offline promotion of Airbnb. Sorry.
Yeah, when situation comes. Jatuh.
I already did, I think. Yeah. Oh no, it's partner relation. It's different, right? I think it's gonna be the same. Yeah.
So it's never gonna be the same if it's roughly.
Roughly, yes. Okay.
Anywho, that's
Anywho,
my
Okay.
proposed timeline.
Anybody has any other questions? I have one question. Where's the start date of your timeline again? Yesterday.
Matam itu yesterday.
14.
14 itu.
Okay. Okay.
Valentine's Day.
Yoi. What a romantic way to kick off Valentine's Day. So kan ini kan because we love our partners nih.
Alright.
Marketing 101. Yes.
In the
Siapa
edition of
doskop?
So this is from 14th of February to the end of April, yeah. And end of April. Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. You probably have quite a fair bit to report during quarterly meeting.
Yeah.
So then by the end of April, it means like let's say the owners agrees, right? Like the owners agree to add on like extra bed. So then does it mean also by the end of April the extra bed
Could be earlier though, because ending as could be there.
I mean they need to buy, right? Like or is it just the extra service?
No.
That's right.
That's about. So we can add the money that we usually pay for the third party to their
What
revenue.
if it is like they can't find that?
Wah, don't take it personal lah, Vita. Kau.
Okay.
Doesn't go.
Ayo, Cak.
Let's move along.
Okay, this is my motion. Do I have a second? Any,
Is there a second?
any further discussion for my proposed timeline? Wah, itu Loki lah itu. Aku paling banyak butuh bantuan Lucky, Dominic, dan tuh di sini sih malah. Malah ya. Tahu tuh. Yeah. Okay, if there's no further discussion, I would like to put a motion.
Okay.
Yeah, all in favor to this proposed timeline for the revenue maximizing plan for Port 1 properties, please raise your hand.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay.
Okay, unanimous. Thank you guys.
Okay, moving on. Thanks.
me, last one.
Alright, Alvin, very good.
Jolly good.
Very good. Now balik guys. Let's go.
Cok noin sih, cok.
Guys.
Alright.
Okay, let me start. So basically, on the last discussion, we already informed that basically to achieve the revenue growth that we actually already set up as a target, which means 21%. There's only three things that we can do: basically gaining, developing, and also maintaining on that one. Developing actually already PC by Diba on term of we focus on top 10 property to enhance it by using a proposal, and the maintaining itself is already part of the community that actually I need to help also, so we can actually reduce the churn itself. Now the one thing that I can focus currently is on the gaining itself. Which means, based on what we data we have, if you can see on the screenshot above, you can see that actually starting on August until November, that's the revenue that have the highest risk of the under achieve itself. So it's way below than what we actually put. Even it's way below than the last year itself. A lot of things that actually affect that. Either one of the property that actually are the off board, and the other thing also, which mean maybe my projection also have need to be revised again, need to be double check again. But as far for that, what we can do is basically right now we already have the data regarding which area that actually we want to focus Ungasan Nusa Dua, and actually what type of property actually we can try to focus to gain highest revenue as possible. I already talked with Nengli yesterday, so if you see on the plan, uh, row or column, sorry, on the plan column, basically, there's three things that we can do. First is the MB and RM part, which means I'm as the RM also need asking for MB to help on gaining new property before the month is coming itself. So usually the idea of the new property itself for the first until third month, basically, the revenue itself is not that much. So we basically are on the process of gaining on the property. So that why I'm asking already coordinate with Nengli and also gonna do a discussion with Trisna as the lead generator itself to try to make a schedule and also the progress by kind of to make it easy, kind of like giving the what is called kind of like a checklist for him to do a canvassing itself. How we actually need to do a canvassing on Ongasan area and Sadua area. That's the first plan. Second plan is about the ambient host part. Basically, I'm gonna ask host to help on to be a lead generator. And the third one is basically like an event, but it's still on the progress because I'm still also kind of asking Nengli on the details on it. But continue. Could you try to scroll down to the calendar itself? I already put a calendar on below of the table, so we can do the timeline itself. Scroll to the left. Oh, that's so much.
Aku nggak tahu di mana mulainya wangi ini. Offensive couple.
Kamu.
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Okay, basically it's already starting from today. So today I will have a discussion with Nengli and also Trisna. Basically, I'm gonna also brief Trisna what is actually the plan for Squad One. And also provide him the data why he actually come up with this one. So basically, I'm gonna tell him why we actually choose Ungasan, Nusa Dua, and actually what I have in plan in mind. It's gonna also parallelly also gonna do kind of like an assessment. So basically, I already brief Trisna, then I'm gonna prepare all the data. So basically, this data that I'm gonna give Trisna, which area that he can start, and also which type of property that he can focus on each of the area. So basically, Ungasan and Nusa Dua have a different type of property on that area itself. Some are, let's say, Nusa Dua have a lot of luxury villa, and Ungasan have much more on the villa itself. So I can give the data for Trisna on that particular sense. In that term, I also still gonna do revenue projection monitor from February 11 until March, the 3rd of March. Why actually I just the 3rd of March? I'm gonna also double check what is actually our revenue, the actual revenue that we got on February. That's why it's gonna take until the early of the March itself. So I'm gonna double check all the projection again. I'm gonna double check because one thing that pretty interesting. Let's say just like the Kuto, the projection itself is around 4,000, and right now we already have 8,000 for the Kuto, which is actually pretty interesting on that thing. Next, my action plan is basically around next week on the Sunday, I'm gonna check on the revenue risk based on market projection. What I mean by checking on the revenue risk, basically the one thing that actually are the highlight rates. That's the one thing that I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna try to divide it based on the category, which area actually have a lowest revenue, which type of the property actually have lower revenue, and also what is the margin of difference on each of the months itself with between the last year and also the projected for this year. After that, that's kind of the foundation for the list that I'm gonna give to the lead generator. That it will be hopefully I can give on the 23rd of February on the next one. Any question first? So we don't need to go back.
Thank you. Market
No.
development.
Market development. That's basically the lead generator. Any question?
Music director.
Music director. If no question, I'm gonna continue. So if you see, there's also a block with a gray, which I want to do a discussion with MB basically on coordination, how actually house can help on the lead generator. This is an old best practice, but actually still kind of continuing. A lot of information that actually a lot of property on Canggu also start from the house itself. I believe Joe also do something like that to be a lead generator and the others. And currently on the squad one, maybe we kind of still doesn't have a time or maybe how to manage on it. So I'm still gonna ask with Nengli for this one. I'm gonna coordinate how actually the process. So after that, if actually possible and actually how actually gonna do, let's say how the process of the in terms of incentive or how actually gonna process on giving the leads generator what is actually needed and the other thing, then actually I can continue on it. That's why I'm still gonna give it as a gray area. So I'm gonna make sure that everything is pretty much clear. So there's no overlap or let's say there's kind of like a competition between lead generator and also the host itself. So there's no confusion on it. Okay.
Good. I like competition.
Sorry.
Sharpen yourself.
So that's the idea. I just want to make it clear on all the progress, so we can still actually help on the squad. Next one, I also gonna do the calculation for total property. So this is the idea. After I know that actually which one have a low revenue, or basically the higher risk itself, I already make a category on it. I also already give it to the MD or the lead generator. Also try to hopefully I can do this. I also want to try to calculate how many property that can that we need to, let's say, to gain, or how many partner that actually we need to get basically to cover that. So let's say basically for luxury villa we can gain 40,000 per month, and we actually the difference for June is actually around 10,000. Hopefully we can get at least 2 or 3 luxury villa to cover that one. That's the rough idea on it. But of course, it's gonna be a new calculation that I'm gonna do. That's why I'm gonna take a little bit longer time, and it's also the time where actually I'm gonna give the schedule for Tesla to do the canvassing. This idea also that I get from yesterday discussion. Let's say for Ungasan, there's a few area also. This is also one thing that I can do parallelly with after I'm doing what you do, Diba, on checking on the competitor for the amenities. Basically, I'm also gonna double check on the area with have which actually let's say have lot of listing Airbnb on that area and try to focus on that area also. So basically, we also try to focus on area with that already have a market as a priority. So it's basically let's say kind of like on competitor side. So we have a competition on that one. That's the idea to also know which area that have potential to gain a lot of booking. Any question, Aswar? Please ask me, harass me.
You're, you're starting on the end of March because for your calculating the total property needed to cover the difference, because you are aiming to cover for that 3 red months, is it, in August all the way to November?
Hmm.
Uh,
So even though I'm gonna take a long time. This is February, right? Yeah, just I'm only, so basically it's only start on the March, but the canvassing itself that's February to March.
okay, so technically speaking, I can get Krishna to focus on squad 2 these few months first,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Basically, yeah. So that's why I put a detailed set a schedule with Krishna because just like you said yesterday, he also have responsibility to go to Nusa Penida and the others. So that's why I'm trying to manage the schedule for Krishna. But after that, if you try to scroll on the right side,
Okay.
uh, hopefully my target he can start to do the canvassing around 11th of March until around 23rd or 24th. So that's the idea to do the first cycle. So canvassing cannot be done just one time. Basically, I know about that too. So this is what I call the first cycle. So after Trisna doing 2 weeks to do the canvassing with priority on the squad one,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that actually he only do the squad one, but hopefully he can focus on squad one mostly most of the time for that 2 weeks.
Egoista.
So that's the first cycle. After that, the last thing is basically I'm gonna also work the CRM to know how many lists actually we can get from the first cycle itself and what type of the property itself. And I'm gonna try to calculate roughly on this kind for the projection itself because in the end, the process to gain or let's say to close the deal itself gonna take a little bit longer time. But at least I know the progress that we got from that canvassing based on the priority list that I already created. That's the first quarter of my planning. Any question?
No, not from me. Folks? No? Not interested to find out how you all become lead generators?
I'm interested to find out.
But you knew about this, right?
I know about it.
Extra money, guys. Extra money.
From mana?
Eh,
Only
Kamu-
Lucky doesn't know, I think. Did you know?
wrong progress ya.
Folks used to be lead generators. No, yeah, I think it
Can be. No.
can be lah, not sure.
They stop
During-
giving leads because the process gets
Lost.
it's not chunks up right now.
Yeah lah, it's used to be just like
Full
give
stack.
a number, blah blah.
Anywho,
Anywho, okay. If there's no question, to be honest, that's why actually I'm still creating the timeline until end of the March because this is the first cycle. But it means I'm still gonna continue doing it. The second cycle will be the implementation. If everything is doing okay and actually there's no issue, then I'm gonna continue to do to improve on it. But if there's an issue, I'm gonna do the pivot. So if you see on the plan itself, this is the master plan basically to gaining a new property itself. How actually as a squad itself, MG and host can work together, if possible, to do a lead generation based on the host itself. And the third one, this is pretty interesting that I got from Haley yesterday regarding the event. It's different with the community meeting they done on Django. But for the details stuff, I'm gonna tell a little bit later. So I'm gonna update it again. I don't want to give ambiguous information or something like that. After mainly give me the video, I'm also gonna attach the video and also give a little bit explanation. But the idea itself, for the outcome that we expect is basically we can get new leads, basically soft selling and also a passive income. Udah kayak si yang di ikan YouTube. So we get a passive income. So everyone can come to us directly rather than we take aggressive approach by looking for it to be a lead generator. That's the expected outcome. So you can see all the expected output that I try to approach. Aside from that, extra information, I also gonna still help on the develop and also maintain, which means for the develop point, I also gonna work with Diba, yes, to try to enhance all the property that we actually already have and how we actually gonna enhance on the revenue that we can get, which means it's also gonna affect on the projection that I already created if actually the owner agree with that. And the main thing is how we actually try to reduce the churn or even better, we don't have any of those property on this year. Question. Come on, give me a question.
Oh, you're asking anybody?
If everybody okay understand, then that's good. If everybody doesn't understand, that's thing that I am also kind of worried.
Actually, asking that.
Basically, most of the time I'm gonna work with the MD because it's part of the gaining, right? But for the developing and maintaining, because everyone have the PC itself, develop already have PC of Tiba, maintain also already have PC of Rian as the community part. It means I'm gonna help them basically in the end. But for the gaining, I'm the one that actually really focus on it, working with the MD.
Okay.
Okay,
I like the plan. It's good. Anybody
no
else?
question.
Kelvin, about the plan, about the timeline. All right.
No,
No.
no fun.
Okay. No. No. Everybody understands that.
Okay. Okay, let's continue then. That's my motion for the timeline itself and also the master plan for maintain to get the revenue growth that we targeted. Anyone second that motion? Thank you for the second. Any other discussion? Anyone want to be the PC? Replace me, maybe.
Huh? Apa? What? You did that test? Okay.
Oke, oke. Daripada kalian diem-diem semua loh, nggak suka gue. Oke, continue then to the vote. Anyone in favor for this motion? Please raise your hand. Okay, Deba. Thank you. Okay, motion pass. That's pretty much for the timeline. So this from everyone, right? All good. Uh, Last one we from the community hope to revise on it. Just communicate with us is okay. Also to discuss about it, how to maintain the timeline itself. Also gonna also improve on it. Uh, if everything good, it's already been 1.5 hour. Is there any updates for the new business that you want to put
No.
Anybody?
while we are here?
Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay. For OKR, is there any updates for OKR?
Okay, let's try to double check.
I thought we
Okay.
were supposed to finish the planning first.
Yes, we are supposed to finish.
But I have some.
Dominic has an update for
But I
OKR.
have some
Just you only.
abandoned. I have some unachieved OKR that is now achieved.
Huh?
I have some
OKR.
unachieved OKR that now is achieved. Host
Jangan.
and LM.
It's not achieved if it's not according to your proposal.
Just how the achieve is when it is the deadline. How can it be achieved again?
Okay, so basically, with this new exercise, everybody now understands how this is aligned to OKRs for every single one. Are you familiar with how SWOT one does OKRs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pemetaan, mepet.
Anybody go through that with you?
Yeah, I already discussed.
With
Alvin
them,
already
Okay.
evaluate my OKR then.
Ah.
I haven't practicing it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So with this new strategy now, then it should be easier for us to all set monthly OKRs, monthly projections, and I think there should be higher alignment within each member in the squad lah. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Let me add a little bit. So,
I have one more.
uh,
Sorry, Alvin.
what?
Actually, I have one more question, which is for Vita. Vita, what happened to the three extra people? Where are we going to put them? Like, what's the
Oh, yeah.
Say based on, say
Wow.
based on
The question
the
code.
projection, we can have. Wait, Vita.
Apa ini?
What is the plan for that now? Wow. You want to highlight your
I
what that one?
wait. Actually, so for example, I think it's not just like if we take a look at this plan, because for example, content is one, new host or air support, finance administrator as well, and this new talent acquisition. So these are things. And also, I think I believe like last week you also mentioned like if we put the positioning, the framing into like just this tree, and then it's not going to.
I don't know if it's more lah.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
But
but
I mean, like just like putting it in the logic, like with how much power that we can add.
okay. So shall we just take it these three new people is no longer like we just like discard it first like don't think about that anymore, right?
Just like
Okay. So technically speaking, I still don't really know. And then do these people are still highly involved in sport or not involved in sport anymore?
I think later on, then
Yes, you.
like Diba.
Okay. You may have a think about it. Then I think
I think
then you
I
have
think
some
she before doing the one-on-one.
just have to think about it lah. Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. Oh yeah, I want to just give it add an information. So basically, regarding the OKR itself, basically we already have a plan, right? But in case of you kind of confused what you need to do or anything else, this is basically kind of like a team. All the strategy itself is kind of like a team that we actually put. In case you don't know what you want to do or want to help, or maybe you have actually have idea and it actually can relate or align with the my strategy. Let's say it's kind of relate with the talent planning, it's kind of relate with the proper engagement and everything else. You can talk to DC directly and try to align that idea itself. You can make an OKR based on that. I think that will be much easier for you also. in case you, let's say maybe Vita actually have an idea on the proper assessment, or maybe Diba also have an idea on the talent planning and the other, or vice versa. You can actually talk the PC and try to manage the plan based on that, or maybe to get the OKR based on that.
So can I say that I think it's very easy for PCs to do their OKRs, but my question is, what about the rest then? Do the OKRs all align back to this sub strategy? That means to say, for example, Diva is running the OKR, right? I mean, not her
Mm,
own strategy, right? And then she requires Dominic and Luki. So the Dominic and Luki's OKR for the month align with hers?
One to
sorry.
do.
Yeah, that's the strategy lah.
Mm,
Hmm.
sorry, I can really listen to hear you.
So, so what I'm asking is, it's fairly easy for Vita, all the PCs, right, to set up their OKRs because then they already have their timelines set out.
Ah,
My question is what about the rest? Luki,
mm.
do they set their OKRs aligned to support individual PC or what?
Basically, that's kind of support the individual PC, right? The PC itself is just a representative for the strategy itself. That's why I told. That's why I tell everyone here. In case you actually have an idea, or in case you want to take a part on the strategy itself, you can talk to the PC and try to align what you can do basically on that. Just like on the community, let's say Dominic and also Mas Vicky is not the PC. You want to take on part on which focus on it. You can talk to PC and try to put it as an OKR, or maybe helping also on the gaining revenue.
Okay, Dominic, what do you all think? Do you all want to align to PCs or do you all want to do your own OKRs? Or when you're doing squad OKR?
Oh no.
So I'm talking about squad OKRs here. Align, align to support the. Okay. So at least what you do with the content.
So I'm gonna double check everyone OKR. I'm gonna give it back on your paper.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's pretty much back to the new business.
And now we finish
Uh,
the
bit-
presentation already.
Kamu hilang mas.
uh,
Coba anda.
Udah
I
beres
just have
beneran.
one thing.
Aim.
Si Alvin udah ngomong.
Udah, mana sih lu?
Ya udah deh, kalau gitu gue baca aja. Kan ada recording apa yang dibaca. Tadi Nengli bilang nggak apa-apa, gue cabut dulu. Anaknya kan mau bolang.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Tapi udah ya, udah beres ya. Berarti Alvin belum, udah beres ya.
ini nama aku disebut. My name get mentioned.
All right, never mind. It's okay. No worries.
Back.
Okay, so done. Yes.
Berarti,
Not done. Not done for you.
berarti pertanyaannya satu, are we doing singkap next Friday? Second of all, are we supposed to already submitted our OKR on next Friday? Or
Good question.
My answer is basically there's no meeting on next Friday. We do it once a week. Basically, we already have alignment, but if you actually, but you need to propose the OKR. Once again, we still need an OKR, right? That's not only the main strategy, also the action plan. But the OKR itself is actually related on the action plan that you actually choose. Just like on my side, basically, my action on try to getting the leads. Yeah, I can actually try to make an OKR. Basically, the key result you can do 2 new leads on Bukasan or the other team. That's the idea. But just to make it a little bit of helpful advice, don't try to focus on it to be the only things. If actually your OKR can gonna need 2 months or 3 months based on the strategy that we actually already implemented here. So it's okay for you to set the deadline for 2 months or 3 months. Just like uh, what Ahmad said, basically use a smart system. It's measurable, timely, or achievable or not.
We can use mouse
Uh,
OKRs, right?
yeah,
you can set a
but
Are we going?
question. Okay, does anyone get?
Yeah.
I don't get
Explain me.
I understand.
So first one, we meet this Friday for singkap.
Jawab itu.
No, Tuesday.
Huh? No,
Tuesday.
Huh? What?
Friday.
Tuesday.
Are we
Next
going to
Tuesday.
meet next Friday for singkap?
Masih kalian salah satu.
Noted.
Singkap gak? Cuk.
Enggak,
Enggak.
Tuesday.
Terus
No, okay.
next Tuesday, what is the agenda for singkap?
OKR. OKR.
Oh no, wah enak bosku.
Okay, so that means
No, singkap
meetings.
Friday.
So meetings go back to once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next week onwards, it's going to be every Tuesday. 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
And next week we start with on.
Back to usual format.
Okay.
Okay.
What about
Then
Ian?
business go business.
What about
Jam.
So now you haven't gotten back to us
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got planned and then you decide and then you let the team know what you want to do. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Zil, jangan
Udah mabuk.
jangan
Singkap.
jadikan keyboard merusak karena kopi itu sia-sia.
Okay. So everybody knows what's going to happen. Clear already.
Stop.
Alrighty. Let's. Okay. And we want to motion.
Motion to
Okay. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Yes.
Second. Uncle, kamu naik.
Hah? Apa sih ini?
Stop record dulu, Cuk.
Oh iya benar.
Ini.